Hello, 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 and welcome to the latest Green Umbrella Live Lunch, episode 157. These numbers are racking up, guys. 157 episodes. I'm like, do you know, there's only like maybe 2 weeks where we've skipped, where just like diary commitments, or I think one of them I ended up missing because I was at a meeting just outside Birmingham Airport. And it was just like there was no way I could do it there with the signal and stuff. And it ended up doing like a little live from the car park going, this isn't happening. But yeah, 157 episodes out of 159 possible ones. That's pretty good going. I'm like, pat yourselves on the back. Come on, Molly. Yeah, Kim, come on, let's see it. There we go. So, well, that's wasted a minute, hasn't it? Whilst it all kicks in and everyone gets the notification and jumps on. This week on Live Lunch, we have, as you can see, point the right direction. We have a guest. I'm never sure if we're all in different places on the screen or not, if it's the same for everyone. But yeah, we have the wonderful Kate joining us, who is absolutely thrilled to be here and not nervous at all. Hey, Kate.
I'm fine.
So, Kate, introduce yourself. Tell everyone who you are, what it is you do, why you're here.
So I'm Kate Swaby. I help out and do the social media marketing for a martial arts company in Stroud, Urban Martial Arts. We have a few different locations and we've got a few different ones opening in different areas of Gloucestershire in the southwest. So I'm here today because I love anything to do with design and media, always have done, but I've not been that great at the marketing side. Christina was at an event that I was at, martial arts event, and I immediately was like, I need this lady. I need her. So I followed her ever since, created her social media, stalked her, and then joined her Catalyst course. And that's why I'm here today.
Excellent. Excellent. So yeah, you joined the Catalyst. So anyone that doesn't know, Catalyst it's an 8-week program. There's sort of 8 recorded modules, and then every week we jump on and we do a Q&A. And Kate's one of our success stories, isn't she, Kim?
She certainly is. Yeah, you just took the whole course and like you were just so excited, like, and you were like, oh, I've done this. So when somebody comes back and gives you like their feedback and the things that you've implemented, I was buzzing for that call every week. I was like, Thursday, quick, jump on.
What's Kate's now? So there were certain things, Kate, that you were quite nervous about jumping into. You had to get out of your comfort zone on, right?
Yeah.
Like now.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Something live, you know. Yeah.
So tell us about it. What was it? What did you do? What were the results?
So I don't mind hiding behind a screen, posting things on Facebook, video and everybody else. I don't mind that. We do a lot of lives in our page, but usually in our classes, just showing what our classes are about. One week, Christina and Kim decided to tell me I had to do a live myself of one of our success stories of one of the students in our gym. Obviously, I was petrified and I tried to get out of it, but it was just do it. You'll be fine. Just do it. So I just literally put the camera on, just set it up, did it. Nearly cried 10 minutes before, but did it, and it was great. And we literally had leads. I think Kim kept track on that as well. We had leads coming through the roof, literally left, right, and centre, just from this one video, and live video. It was absolutely incredible. Still petrified me, but it was great. It was absolutely, everybody was just saying, "Oh, your video was great," and I didn't expect that because obviously I was thinking, "Oh, I didn't say that right. I didn't say that right." But yeah, it was fantastic. So. Yeah, and then they asked me to do this, which is the same. But yeah, it was really, really good.
I think this is the thing, and Molly, Nicole, I'm sure you'll chip in here. Like when we ask clients to do things like whether it's a pre-recorded video or a live, there is always that like moment of silence, isn't there? When they're like,
yeah. Definitely.
Me and Molly was just the thing. Yeah.
that's the thing. I think every client has been petrified of the idea of doing a video or a live. It's just a natural thing, isn't it? Until you do it and you're in the moment, and then once it's done, you're like, why was I stressing?
Yeah, I had a conversation with a client before I started Live Lunch, and I was like, please do me a video, please do me a live. And they were like, I've looked at your socials and you don't do them. And I was like, oh, I've been caught out here. You've picked me up on my own like confidence issue. So yeah, you've just got to do it. And I feel like the build up and the thought of it is always so much worse than actually just doing it. And if you set yourself up like we do, I hide the live bit so I can just see you guys. So to me, it's just a call. And once you figure out what works for you, you do it every week.
That's it. It is about it is about finding those little hacks, and it's amazing when you start to do it. Like I said, the feedback that you get. So there's that kind of like rush, you know, when you get the positive feedback, where you know just makes you feel really good about the fact that you've done it. But when the leads also start to come in, and like Kate, in your situation, you've got quite a few inquiries coming through, haven't you?
Yeah, we've had loads come through. I was surprised at how many people would. So it was about a child with no confidence, and he basically had no friends and things like that. And why he came in, I was surprised and shocked actually of how many children have the same issue. I knew children had confidence issues. But the fact that they weren't having many friends, they didn't have anywhere to go, that surprised me. But the amount of people that came through, even people who had no children would recommend somebody else's child. It was really good. Really, really good. And
this is the power of telling a story, because that video, you were telling the story of this child and the different, like what the outcome was. Yeah. And it's, like I said, the power of storytelling in marketing, especially from a social media perspective, it's always the thing that works, always.
Yeah. You'll be pleased to know I've bought a interview banner, because I like the one that you had on your screen. So we bought an interview banner just so we could do more of these storytelling interviews and things like that on actual stories. So
excellent. I mean, Kim, what are your... Because obviously I know we had loads of conversations whilst Catalyst was going on, because we kind of run it in cohorts. So it's not like you can't just join any time. You have to join when we start week 1 again.
Yeah.
Which is like next week, I think, isn't it? The next cohort starts. So like what was it for you when we came to the storytelling section? What do you think it was that Kate picked up on the most that made the biggest difference?
I would say the framework that she followed when telling the story was really, really good. And it just, I've obviously got a child myself. You could really, relate. And it was imperfectly perfect. That makes sense? So it was just you, raw, honest, speaking, from the heart. Yeah, it was just really good. I think you had 54 leads or something crazy like that. Something.
I think we had something along the lines of 50-something thousand views, and there was 54 leads. I think we had from the one clip in the first day. That was, I think, in the first
day. Yeah. Oh, so and it was just you were so excited, dreading it. But once you were done, it was like, I've done it. And then me and Christine were like, she's done it.
Around in the office going, oh my God, she's actually done it. There's a really cute bit at the end of the video where you're like, bye.
Yeah.
So almost like we can see the excitement that it was over.
Yeah.
But it was really good, like to see the confidence in you grow from week to week. I mean, I was inundated with content plans. I think you're now covered till 2025, aren't you?
Yeah, I literally print them out and put them right here, so I've got them every day, so I can just get them done. But everyone's like, "Oh, you're so good at your social media." I'm like, "Yes, I am."
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah, they're like a lifesaver, those things though. The things I've learned on there to use, just even the little things that you might not have even focused on that week, little things that you just put in comments, what I would just write down, and I use them every single day. Every single day when doing social media. So many good things that's come from that. It's amazing.
I think this is, so a lot of social media courses, they're either, like we have our 3-day where we deliver it all face to face. But the thing is, you're getting so much information in those 3 days, and then it's like, goodbye, see you later kind of thing. I mean, yeah, you can do mentorship with us and that kind of thing. Not everyone chooses to do that. So if they don't, they're kind of like on their own then. And Molly and Nicole helped to deliver part of the 3 days. So I think it was actually those two that designed that content plan originally. So yeah, so when you held it up, then both of them were like, "Oh!"
I literally love it, and I've got them all saved across my computer. They're amazing.
But like the thing with Catalyst is because you've got the pre-recorded sessions, jumping onto that Q&A, because we're not dealing with, there's not 100 people on the call. So it's like, because it's like an intimate group, everyone's got their camera on, everyone's talking openly. So there's that little bit of camaraderie as well, and the jokes start to happen and that kind of thing. But also it's the stuff that comes up in conversation because you're talking about each other's businesses. And the variety in the businesses as well. It's amazing. Like, we work with a lot of recruiters, but then talking to you about your business, I should have put my phone on silent, shouldn't I? Let me just do that now. I turned everything else off. It's even though we work with a lot of recruiters, talking to you about your martial arts business, all of a sudden it's like, okay, there's an idea there we can bring into that world, or vice versa. So I think it is that doing those Q&As, the little things that come up, whether it is someone's confidence issue or someone's planning a campaign, what do you think? I'm about to do this tomorrow. How can I make the most out of that opportunity content-wise? I think that's where the real value is those conversations, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
So obviously, like, the live worked really well, the storytelling, you love your content plans. Like, what's been the biggest change for you having completed Catalyst?
To be honest, it's the variety of different posts, that the ideas that you give for the different posts and what you can do and what you can post. Because I was struggling. What I was actually doing before was I was posting every day or every other day, but I would just post a selling post every day, or it would be a picture of a child and something about confidence, and it'd be a write-up every single day, which we were getting leads, but not millions. And then it was the different things that you can post, your ideas, the different things you can put online, and then planning them every week to know what I'm doing, when I'm doing it. So there's a variety over the whole month. And then doing the lead posts, lead ads and all that sort of stuff. I think the changes is so much more organized, which means it's not just, let's just chuck stuff out there so people can see stuff and it doesn't really matter, it's nice, so organized that I get so many people come to me and say, oh, your social media is so good, you get everything out there, we know everything about you, we know this, we know that, the other, which starts from the first session you did in the course. That's where all my notes are written down. My notes are a nightmare. I've got thousands. My husband's like, what is all that about? And I'm like, you don't need to know, don't worry, I can do it. But everything's just organized. Everything's organized, everything's there. And it means I get time to myself as well. Whereas before I was just left, right, and sitting putting the kids to bed and writing up what I can do today. Quick post. I haven't posted anything. Let me just make something up. Whereas now it is done, and there's so many different things and interactions, people interacting with our posts. And that as well. So that, I think that's probably the biggest change for me, and the biggest improvement is from that. Everything's organized, everything's there, and there's so many different things to post.
Molly, you're really good at coming up with all the, like, getting a client and then coming up with like 100 content ideas for them, aren't you? And getting organized, all your different systems and things. So
yeah, I'm a bit OCD with my planning. Yes.
That's me then.
So what would be your key tips, Molly, for someone when it comes to getting organised?
I'd really say, like, pick out maybe 4 or 5 key topics within the company, whether that's whatever your company, recruitment, martial arts, anything, pick out your 4 or 5 different topic areas and then put, like, I don't know, say your video content, your live content, your stories, your sales posts, your normal posts. So yeah, 5 again. And then put it almost into a table and then fill out some content ideas based on the different topics and then put them into the different styles of posts. So whether it's you're going to do a Q&A session or whether you're going to do a video of me on a dog walk, or different ways of putting out the same message, because I feel like the variety then is what draws people in. But yeah, you should see all my to-do lists, all my content plans for all my different clients. It is, everybody else looks at it and they're like, what is going on? But like you said, Kate, if you can put in some time to plan it, when you come to doing the posting, it's so much easier because you're like, I know exactly what I'm doing. I know exactly what message I'm putting across. I know exactly who my audience are and who I'm targeting. And it does sound cliche, but put the time into planning it and it does make your life so much easier.
Yeah, definitely.
Nicole, obviously when you guys are on holiday and you're covering for each other, it also really helps then as well, doesn't it, in terms of being able to hand it over to someone else?
Yeah, definitely, because I feel like you know your client, so you know what's going to work for your client. So like, for example, Molly covers for me, I cover for Molly, and we sort of plan our posts ahead then. So that really gets you in the structure of what's going out. So it's easier for the person that's covering to hand everything over because everything's scheduled. So all they have to do is, just interact, like, comment, share stuff. So yeah, we have a bit of a structure with that, which is really good as well. Yeah.
Awesome. Was Kim frozen? It looked like Kim had frozen then for a minute, like with her eyes shut, like, ooh. Okay, so Kate, whilst you've got us on, I probably should have said this to you before so you could have a think, but I'll put you on the spot now. Have you got any questions for us? Like what's happening with your social media now? What have you got, any challenges at the minute we can just answer live?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. See, I think I asked so many questions literally I was asking question after question after question, then emailing after and asking this now. So I think I asked so many questions that I don't think we're finding at the moment we're struggling a little bit lead wise because of summer. And what happens, we shut for a couple of weeks in summer and people are going on holidays. So they're not so wanting to book in for classes and things like that. We're still getting leads, but it's a bit quieter at the moment. But no, I don't think so. I don't think I have any questions. Now you've asked me that, I'm probably going to get off and think of about 10.
I've got a question for Kate. In terms of sort of like gaining the leads from your particular post, do you feel like there is a particular post that you put out that attracts that? So like your live, that was something that worked. So have you done that sort of again in the future, or will you plan on doing another one?
Yeah, so it was in my content plan for the other week. And what I was going to do, because I said I didn't want to do another one, just me, I was going to interview one of the coaches, instructors about somebody to come in, but about one of the adults. But basically what happened, one of our instructors had to leave and we've had a new instructor come in. So it's all been a bit crazy. So that is on my plan for this month. So I will do that again because I think it's really important because I think we did really well with that last time. But yeah, I think that does definitely need to be done. We have done lives, but it's only been, like I said, showing around the classes and what's going on. But yeah, I have got that planned in my plan for this month. So that will be up this month. I promise, guys.
Now. You should do a live introducing the new instructor.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, we could have done that. Oh, I wish I'd done that at the time. I just put a post out and introduced him a bit, but I didn't. Could have done a live, couldn't I? That would have been a good idea.
But you still can. You still can. How long have they been with you?
You started at the beginning of May, so yeah, a month.
Yeah, so yeah, you could still do it. So this is the thing. Sometimes we put a message out, we think, well, we've told everyone, but not everyone would have seen that one post.
Yeah.
So sometimes we have to tell people like a few times to make sure that everyone's seen the message.
Yeah.
And even then, not everyone would have seen the message, which is why, like Molly said, like, how many different ways can we deliver the same message?
Mm.
Because some people they wouldn't have even noticed that post in their feed, but they would notice the video.
Yeah, it's a good idea actually, because we're doing a kids camp in summer. We're at kids camp at the moment, so there's hundreds of kids upstairs at the moment. But we've got a summer camp come in. We've put the post out, but I'm thinking actually a live video. That's a good idea. Might do that too.
Yeah. When do you do that, Kate?
Well, it launches on Wednesday next week, so maybe I'll see if I can put one in.
This afternoon, then.
Yeah, today sounds good.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe today or tomorrow I could have a go.
By the way, this is kind of how the Q&As work on Catherine.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's a good idea. It's like, yeah, when are you going to do it then?
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll do it at some point. Well, I want it done this week. Okay. I'm like, oh, okay. I left it till the last day, didn't I? I left it till the last day, but I was like, I'm doing it. I'm gonna do it. Yeah.
Oh, look, Paul's commented. He said, no pressure. Oh, is it popped up?
Yeah.
Glad you came on.
I promise you do these things of your own accord. Just gentle encouragement is what I would say we offer.
Yeah, it's not that we've got your address and know where you live or anything.
Yeah.
To be honest, I think my husband's asked me hundreds of times, just do a live, please, for this, even for the dance studio, because we got a dance studio as well. And I'm like, I'm not doing it. I'll blame the internet or something. But the fact that you guys were like, do it, I want you to do it this week. When are you going to do it? It wasn't a question of, can you do it for us? Like, can you please? It's like, when are you going to do it? And we want to see it. It made me do it. But actually, it was a really good thing that you did make me do it, because obviously it worked really well. Yeah. So yeah, sometimes having a bit of pressure.
Yeah. I feel like sometimes a deadline's nice. Like having a bit of pressure, a deadline, because it's then you've got to do it. Like,
and you'll always find an excuse to do something else than that thing that you don't want to do. So just, it's like they say, rip the Band-Aid off if you're in America. Just get it out there, get it done.
I think as well, it's having it's like having accountability. I feel like sometimes when you've got somebody else who's not badgering you for it, but like with me, with a client, I'll be like, can I have this video by Friday? And then on Thursday, I'm like, oh, looking forward to seeing the video tomorrow. I feel like when you've got somebody not pressurizing you or pushing you, but just gentle encouragement to be like, come on, let's get it done. I feel like that helps sometimes. So it's just having the accountability. Like if you've got your content plan, that's your accountability. If you said you're going to do it, then you just do it, don't you?
That's it. Molly started on you now. You've got 3 of us on your case now, Kate.
I'll back off.
We've already decided we're adopting you anyway, Kate. So.
Oh gosh. Well, that is true though, because I think with the deadline thing, that's why I like the content plan so much, because it's there and it's written out for the whole month. I know I've got to get it done, so I will literally just sit there and work solidly on maybe 2 weeks. I think Kim made a joke about me. I'm ready till Christmas now. I've done it till Christmas, but I'm not that far. But I'm doing a month at a time. But it means I get more time to myself and more time with the kids, because I just get it blasted out. It's done.
I think this is the thing. I get the comment all the time. Oh my God, social media, like this is a full-time job, and it's like it is when you don't have a plan. It is when you've not sit down and thought about it strategically. And it's and it's even getting the lead. So like you said, obviously summer's coming. The lead gen is going to slow down. So then it's like, okay, what plan do we need to put in place to counteract that? Is it that actually we're just going to accept that there's going to be less leads, but put a plan in place, because when we hit August, September, we're going to have a campaign that means that we get double the leads then? We can sort of think strategically about it. Or is it that, one of the things we talk about is like, affiliations. So what partnerships can you create? So whilst you've got this period of time where you're going to have less leads coming through, who can you be working with and creating content alongside to increase your brand awareness? Again, so that further down the line, you've got more opportunity. You're building your audience now. even though the leads are not coming in, so that when you go for it with that next campaign, it's like bang, you're getting more through the door.
Yeah.
I think as well, and especially like with a like martial arts businesses, because you are more often than not marketing to a local geography. This is where you can get your offline marketing and your online marketing working together really, really well. Really well, because it's things like, you know, posters going out, leafleting, that sort of stuff. If that's also in line with what's happening social media wise, you know, everyone's using QR codes now, that kind of thing. It's like when you're able to make everything link up, that's when an overall marketing campaign really can go next level.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you with the leaflets, giving out leaflets and posting leaflets, do you think they work really well? Have you got much of an experience on how well they work?
They do if you're really targeted. So if I was going, like, there would be no point in me leafleting like within 30 miles of here for Green Umbrella. However, if we went leafleting in, so there's a couple of places within 30 miles of here that are like innovation centres, that sort of stuff. If we just leafleted those places, because that's where our type of client are going to have offices, then we get results off the back of that for sure. So it is about, you know, again, it's like this. I think it's the second module where we talk about your audience. When we understand who your ideal client is, if you're then looking at the geography and going, well, actually, this estate here, we know this housing estate needs this school, so therefore leafleting that housing estate makes a lot of sense. Whereas, you know, that village on the outskirts of town, maybe there's not going to be so much sense, or we're only going to do these 3 streets in that village. So it is just really thinking quite targeted as you can do on it. You know, if you're a coffee shop, then leaflet the whole of the town.
Yeah.
So like I said, it is really, really pinning down, like, who is it we want to target? Where do we think they're going to be? But we can do that with Facebook ads as well.
Yeah.
So I worked with a recruiter in the Northwest, and they were doing a lot of work around high volume temps, so like warehouse workers, that kind of stuff. Kind of people that like work in Amazon, that sort of thing. And what we did, and it was like in the run up to Christmas as well. And what we did, we ran Facebook ads, but we did things like we dropped a pin on Tescos and Aldi and Lidl. And so basically anyone shopping in those places would see the ad. So rather than doing the whole town, we did little pockets. You know, we could, if we knew that there were, the bigger primary schools in your area, for example, you could run ads that were just anyone within 5 kilometres of those schools, knowing that most of the people seeing those ads will be coming in and out on the school run. Now, you're still going to pick up some people that are not relevant, but, you know, the majority will be. And like I said, this is where we start to think quite strategically on the advertising. But yeah, like I said, stuff like leafleting. Obviously, the leaflet itself is important, the design of that, the call to action on it, getting people, I always talk about what's the next logical step. When I see that Facebook post, what's the next thing I should be doing or thinking? If I see that flyer, that piece of email marketing, what's the next thing I should be thinking? You know, we get a leaflet through the door and it's like, call us and come to the school. But what if the leaflet coming through the door was, register for your free class? Well, now you've got their email details. They haven't had to talk to anyone. They haven't had to leave their home, but now you've got them from, a random letterbox into data in your system that you can continue to market to.
Mm.
So it's like little things like that. What's the next logical step, and what's the next easiest step for them as well? Because at the end of the day, we want them in your school, but they're not just going to go from this piece of paper on the doormat to walking into your premises. So we've got to take them along, A to B, B to C, C to D, as long as it takes. There's always going to be people out there ready to buy, but they're ready to buy at their time, not at our time.
Yeah.
And make sure you get your leaflets from us as well. I'm just going to get that in. I'm just saying.
So Mark's normally on here as well, who does all our design and print stuff. And we said to him, because he had half a day holiday, and obviously it's 4-day week anyway. And we said, it's fine, Mark, don't worry about today. You can catch up on your work. And we're like, we'll give you a week off, Mark. We should have had him on. He could have told us all sorts about leaflet design, couldn't he?
Yeah.
But Paul's just said, Kim, are you on commission?
Oh, wait.
Amazing, cool. Right,
we're building an empire, Paul.
Well, one leaflet order at a time.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so guys, have we got any questions for Kate?
I have a general one.
Oh,
Just why martial arts? Where did that come from?
Okay, so my husband has done it since he was like 5, 6, 7. And then he ran classes. He had like school halls when he was like 16, 17. Then they got a full-time location. And then he's basically done it for his whole life. He's fought himself. Obviously, he was on Cage Warriors on TV and things like that. So he's done it all his life pretty much. And then obviously I used to be a photographer. So my business was, I used to do photography, but I was, I'm trying to think how to explain it. So I'd basically take a picture of a child, turn them into a superhero. That was my thing. It was like my own little market. I did my own little thing. COVID hit. And I just stopped, and then I got pregnant and had my littlest one, and I kind of lost the passion for it. I didn't really enjoy it. I liked the designing of it, but I didn't like taking the pictures and how long it took. So then my husband was I was like, your social media is not very good. Your Facebook's not very good. Because I liked the design inside of it. So I used to design their logos and all the different things. But yeah, that's where it came from. And then I decided I absolutely love this. And he was like, well, you can do it if you want. I was like, okay. And then I gave up the photography, which was a bit of a relief, but I still get the design inside of which I enjoyed. I still get that through this. But I absolutely love doing it. I love making all the posters and making all the Facebook posts, and I love all that side of it. But like I said, I wasn't great at organizing or write-ups and things like that. So yeah.
Oh, very nice.
Hopefully now I'm a bit better at it.
I think I'm going to back off pushing you for LinkedIn Lives if your husband's a cage fighter.
Doesn't do it anymore. But
okay,
I actually,
I'll keep pushing.
We've been together for about 12 years. But I never did martial arts ever. I was like, that's not me. I'm not a fitness person at all. And then when we opened the new location in Stroud, they opened a brand new ladies class. And I was like, you know what? I've done the fitness stuff, never done the martial arts. I'm just going to do it because everybody's going to be new because it's a brand new class. So then I started to do the ladies class, and that was a couple of years ago. And I've literally just done my brown belt, just got to my brown belt. So I've only got a few more to my black, but I love it. It's great. It's such a good way of getting fit. I love it. But yeah.
It is funny because there's not, you don't think of women doing, when you think of martial arts, you think of men, don't you? You don't think of women. And yet, Kim, we've known quite a few women now that have come through on our courses that are involved in martial arts.
Yeah. There's a lot of kick-ass women out there.
I can imagine.
So we're not going to fight you or your husband, Kate.
No, sorry, I'm not fighter. Just do my belts.
Yeah, I can imagine martial arts will get a lot of stress out.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, 100. You know, if the husband's annoying you, you can just do some martial arts. Yeah, kids.
That is actually the main reason that the ladies do it. They all say they're either been at home with the kids all day or they've been at work all day and they just want a break. So they come in and they'll just hit the pads, go a bit crazy on the pads or the bags or whatever. And
break something.
Yeah. But yeah. But it is fun. It is good.
The thing is, there's so many benefits to it as well. I think people overlook. So especially like thinking about kids coming into martial arts classes, it's the energy that they get to expel, but also it's things like the confidence, the discipline that they learn. I mean, it's massive, right, Kate?
100%. Yeah. And I think a lot of parents think, oh, my child's he's not very good, doesn't listen, he doesn't do this, I can't take him to a martial arts class because he won't be any good at it because he doesn't listen. It's like, that's the point. If you bring them to us, then they'll end up being good at it, because that's how they progress. That's what we teach them. And a lot of people find that, and that is usually a barrier. That's why, like, with the social media, I'm trying to put that out there. Don't worry about it. If you think that's not right for them, you're actually wrong. It is perfect for them. That's why we want them in there. But it is, and it's especially good to teach them the whole having goals and things like that. So the belts is there, like they have this goal for their belt, and then they keep moving up towards their next belt, and they've always motivated for the next thing, which is good for when they're adults, learning to keep going, motivate themselves.
I was talking to someone a couple of weeks ago. So she's got a little boy who is a ball of energy, let's say. Now, having had two girls, having not had boys, I don't have that experience of all day, every day with a boisterous boy. And, she was exhausted, and she's talking about, how she's managing this child with his outbursts and that kind of thing. And I said, well, have you thought about like martial arts? And she's like, he's already violent enough without, like she was. And I was like, because that's going to help him channel it, right? I mean, you probably get a lot of kids through that it's their. I don't know how to. What I want to say is like you're teaching them how to manage that part of them.
Yeah. Yeah, my own son, I've got 4 kids, 3 boys, 1 girl, but my youngest is nearly 3. He is literally crazy, and I mean crazy. He drives me insane. But I put him in the tots classes. We do like a little tots classes, 2 to 4 year olds. But he absolutely loves it, and everyone's like, he's so good at it. And it's like, yeah, that's because he comes in, he just does everything he's told, because he will not stop. He'll just run, he'll kick, he's punch, he runs off the mats a couple of times, just crazily running away. But he gets on with it. And that's the thing, when they come in there, they have all this energy at home, and people are like, oh, they're just getting on my nerves, basically. They're just winding me up. They're all over the place. They're running around. But when they come in here, they use all that energy in here, running up, and they do a lot of different things. So they can do some running, they can do some balancing, jumping. But they'll also learn in their kicks and punches and all the different techniques they want to use. But it's all in a safe environment, so no one gets hurt, because they've all got the coaches. We've got a few instructors. We have a junior leadership team which come in and help, the whole pads and things like that for them. So they let out all that energy, and then they go home, and their parents are like, oh, they were shattered. They went straight to bed.
Right, I'm signing Ollie up right now. I will come to you, Kate.
Yeah, I can't wait till my littlest can start. Until he's 4, I can't wait till he's 4. Get him in there.
So do you have to be minimum 4 then?
For the actual classes in the evening, yeah. So we have age 4+, but then the little ones we do 2 to 4 for the tots classes. But as long as that's just kind of teaching them the skills ready for when they can go into our little champions class. But
little champions, that's so cute.
Yeah.
And they are sweet, and they have their bright red t-shirts.
Yeah, I was going to say, what age does it go up to, Kate? So what ages do
we
you
go to adults. We go to adults. So we have little champions is 4 to 7, and then we have our junior class, which is 8 to 13, and then we have a ladies, which you can start at age 12 with ladies. So some of the mum and daughters come together, and then we have a teens and adults class, which is 14+. And they're all pretty busy, to be honest. They're all juniors is the biggest class. There's usually about 40 kids in a class each time. Wow. Yeah, so that is the busiest class, but I think that is where the kids have these issues with the confidence, and they find when they haven't got any friends, or they, different issues they find out when they're around that sort of age. I think that's why it's the busiest one. But yeah.
And what is it specifically that you do that helps them to overcome that?
The confidence side. I would say so. With a lot of it is down to praise and making themselves know that they're actually good at something, instead of going, oh, you're not very good at that, you're not very good at that. If they're trying it, our instructors will constantly tell them, you're doing great, you're doing great. The class is so motivating, they're loud, that's amazing. Even if they haven't done it perfectly, they're amazing. We have stars of the class as well at the end, so they can get, if they've done specifically well that day, they'll get these certificates and stickers and things like that. But a lot of it is down to them realizing, actually, I can do this. I am good at this. Belt wise as well, they learn for their belt testing, and when their testing comes, they get their brand new belt and their certificate and their photos and all that. And all the parents are posting stuff online. Look what they've done. But yeah, we did actually have one child who came. He was being really bullied. We did an anti-bullying course, and he came. He was so quiet. He didn't talk for probably the 2 weeks of the whole course. But he's been with us for about 2 years now, and he's like unlimited member. He's here all the time. One of the loudest at the front. So it does really change them. But I think, yeah, a lot of it is down to the praise, I think, and letting them know that they can do things, even if they think they can do it.
It's funny, isn't it? Even as an adult, quite often that's the answer to a lot of things. Oh, I can't do this, I can't do that, and it's almost like I don't want to try. That would say I can't. It means I don't want to. Yeah. I try to pick myself up when I use those words. I can't. I'm like, is that what why can't I? And it's almost like just shattering that belief that it's not something you can do. That's what helps you elevate. And so, if it works with kids, why wouldn't it work with us as adults as well? Yeah. Cool. Right. Well, Kate, thank you so much for joining us. And like I said, when you did Catalyst with us, just thank you again for just playing full out, basically, really engaging with it all, doing the work, because we've talked about the live, but I know some of the other results you had as well were just like we couldn't believe the results you were getting, and the improvements that you had on your reach and all that sort of stuff from it. Yeah. It is because you just implement, like, every week, every little thing you implemented, and you use the course in the way it should be, asking the questions, tapping into us during those 8 weeks. So I thank you for that, definitely. Anyone in the Stroud area that might be watching, that might be interested in popping in, like, how are they going to get in contact with you?
Facebook. Facebook's the best way. Or you can email, text. All our details are on our Facebook page. So you can find us on Urban Martial Arts Schools in Stroud. And we've got all that on there. So anybody wants to come in, come along.
Brilliant. So we just have to do one thing before we finish off, and that's a little cheesy wave, because who's getting the screenshot? Mark's not here. Who's going to do it?
I don't know how to do that.
I can't. I'm not sure I can press the button and do the thing all at the same time. I'm not very good at that. You want it?
Nice.
There we go. Yeah. All everyone ready?
So thanks to everyone for tuning in, and we will see you next week on the Green Umbrella Live Lunch. Bye for now.
Bye.